Good evening, everybody on YouTube. My name's Evil Spirit, and I missed an upload yesterday. Or did I? I don't know. Just depends on how close I get done with this. We are on the last day, guys. And guess who I have with me? I have my Reese amiibo. I don't know, I just had it on my desk. This is a defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I'm trying to reach Lana all morning. Where's Emma for that matter? It almost seems as something been happening behind the scenes. Edward, knowing you, you've already figured it out. The owner of the 77 ID. I mean the 7 to the 7th power ID number. Oh, please not much. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubting regarding this ID record. That number doesn't belong to who we suspect, then no doubt will remain. They're only, after all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for 5 minutes, right, and Chief Prosecutor's guy will be guilty. But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much, that's why I came here to hear what you had to say. This is my first time he's ever done something like this. Lana hiding something, and the only way we'll know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid today. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. She's found guilty. You'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. Think about it. It's in court, right? Bruh. That's it. If I'm going to find out what was on her, it's now. Alright, quiet down. We don't got all day. Okay. Court is now in session. Defense is ready. Prosecution is ready. Normally this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Grant. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Urgent. Been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough after this my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. Don't mind me asking, Chief, what exactly is this you're proposing? I'm gonna kind of turn down the audio. Why is my, audio mixing so weird? Hold on. Is it not my snowball? There we go. Work. Okay. Has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted the request. In the end, it should save everybody a lot of time and trouble. Oh boy. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished. Well then, what's the request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bryce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! That's a lot. You can't, Your Honor. The defendant's claim does not change the defense appeal. In that case, Mr. Wright, no longer require your service. But Lana, Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecutor may lack direct evidence against me, but it has significantly proven in its case Through testimonies and circumstantial evidence, I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has a right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is the unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there is no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court found the defendants... One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant's guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at that stage would certainly be premature. Come on now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, He ain't gonna do it! He ain't gonna do it! I don't think I care for your tone, Mr. Grant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck between the scenes. Some kind of deal? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. Thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to whom? As its witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony. Hold it. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm excusing my right to self-representation. I doubt we need to I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. Whoa! The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter... Oh, crap! Very well. The court shall request the prosecution request. That's okay with you, Mr. Grant? Worthy, you live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Ba. Boop. Okay. Now the witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a science investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer, Joe Dark, of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry. But I'm afraid I'm going to have you recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember that the trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. I sure gave you fast. Now, please testify about what happened 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's about time to lead to the truth behind this trial. Let's see. Alright, Emma, I know you guys are going to be tough. What do I do? I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Niall Marshall rescued me. I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. Passed out, I don't remember much. That's understandable, however. Please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this trial have to do with Mr. Detective Goodman? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. I gotta admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Hopefully I can help. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes. She was the second in command under the then Deputy Chief of Police Grant. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Grant and Miss Skye were to be quite the pair. I believe they share the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk, dreaming about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too. The police department and the prosecution's office held a ceremony that day. Lena promised to take me to dinner after she was finished. A man came running in and took me hostage. Man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark has... Oh, I got you now, Emma. Alright, we're gonna save. And then we're gonna catch you! Okay, sorry. Wait, did I not click the right thing? It does! She said chest, it says back. Died from a punctured heart and a lung. Knife food trip. Bruh. Literally. It must have been a real blow. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly. Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage. When lightning struck and the lights went out, when Marlo jumped on, I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. Pretty sure I was watching them. Emma doesn't have any reason why, but Elena sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much as she can about this. What was the prosecutor doing there? There were two people doing the dark questionings. Deputy Chief Damon Grant and the prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about that. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Why do I sound like Roman from GTA 4? Okay, sorry. Young and dedicated, he went straight through the questioning ceremony. I mean, yeah. After, I assume that would also be why he was the first one after dark. Then when the prosecutor came running in, I don't remember what happened clearly then, but can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Drake and then the lights went on. The lights. It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm. It went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right. Just then, lightning was getting outside, and that sudden flash left an unforgettable image in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw. Detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Goodman? So you spoke with the detective about this 2 years ago? Yes, that's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yeah, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. Picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard of him? Ask about the picture. The picture the witness drew. I believe has a very important meaning. No list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, do you mind stating if we add this to the testimony? Yes, Your Honor. The picture, but it seems that it might be more. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed? Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I still see it now whenever I close my eyes. That's strange. I took a... Wait, hold on. Do I have the picture? Found it! No. That's strange. I took over the prosecution, yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken? I did draw, I swear. I'm not just imagining it. To picture that image that reminds me. I guess I should look. Yeah, so anyways, let's continue. The scene that imprinted an image in your mind. Can you describe it to us? Man. for some reason, I feel like that, like, it won't be it, and then I'm gonna be like...
Thank you!
Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its evidence? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying that as the prosecutor for this case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold, this is the list of evidence. Please turn it around, you. Turn it around, I mean. Ah! What's this? Yes, what is it? Hey, that's it. That's the picture. You meant to be wrestling. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? One of the prosecutors in charge should have access to this list. These lists. They're different from the other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened 2 years ago. Only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What? Order, order. Miss Sky, why did you draw pictures on the back of the important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this was torn in half, that means... Your Honor, are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. Possible, let me see. Something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed a thing on the back of it. It's that thing. Bruh. That thing! That has been dancing in the evidence room. Clearly that was an act of vandalism in the work of a certain chief detective. Guess he was out of scrap paper. Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this 2 pictures you drew 2 years ago? I can! What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. She could.
Why about it?
This is a picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of light was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This shows exactly what I saw in that instant. I think a flash of light could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder the prosecutor. The defense may now begin the prosecution. Okay. So now we know. Alright. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganizing. Detective Goodman was placed in charge under the director of Demongant and Lionel Sky. 2 or 3 days later, Mary should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all in black? So at the time, you didn't even know it was Marshall who had come to your rescue. No, I clearly couldn't see him. I could see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor. Dark had a tight grip on me, and when Mr. Marshall jumped in on him, was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma, I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? Was it Gant who killed him? Maybe he had like some kind of business deal? You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to fade. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is exactly the scene. It wasn't influenced in any way but from your talks with the detective. As you're insulting me, as you're insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, is it right? No, of course not. I better watch out, or he might find a way to cut my salary. This picture before I heard anything from the detective, so I don't think anyone's would have influence on me. Mr. Wright, I see there's something bothering me. Is there something that's bothering you about that picture? Huh? Oh, well. That's strange. She claims this is exactly what was on her mind, and yet, there's clearly a contraction here. Okay, I don't know what I could really say about the picture. I can definitely say that it was drawn by an artist. My only question is, why is that guy there? Like, I understand. Oh. I keep forgetting that's... Oh, that was actually it. Okay, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the window contains a blatant contradiction. Huh, but I still remember it like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply point out this contraction to us. What part of this picture contradicts this? Aww. Isn't making an innocent cry should warrant the death penalty. I guess he means I shouldn't shift the blame to others. Yeah, so long as the defendant learned his lesson. Mr. Wright, what do you take a picture of? What's right here? Take a look at the knife the man is holding. Oh, you can see that the tip is broken. I have to look closely at that, but Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. The weapon, the tip is broken too. I recall the tip of the knife was found in the victim's body. It means the conclusive part of the evidence that proved Joe Darks was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, huh? And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? Obviously, the evidence that was a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not be broken yet. Wow, what's the meaning of this? Or the knife was broken beforehand? So sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was broken and found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it could possibly wind up there. That's right. So what does it mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness' memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence. You're trending on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't possibly deny the possibility. No. Ugh. Order, order, order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. Police department and the other prosecutor offices were holding a ceremony that day. To receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall, Crush, and Joe Dark, along with Damon Grant. During this questioning, Joe fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased him and was killed by Dark. I believe that somehow in this story there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides your Dark's? I think Emma's mistaken, honestly, because broken knives just don't grow on trees. There's no way there was another one. Oh, Mr. Wright? I don't believe the witness is lying. I knew it. Really don't believe me. A flash of light burning an unforgettable image. Once that's been torturing her ever since, there's no way Emma could be mistaken. If the witness is what she saw, it can't just be explained anyway but a simple observational Mr. Wright. And that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. Assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife, so feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Anything broken here, it's you. Huh? I'm sure that this must all be assuming to you, Mr. Wright. I was thinking it was that because it was broken beforehand. Real murder weapon. Could it be this? The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here in this picture, there was a ceremony of the... What ceremony? Ah! What is this, Mr. Edwards? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award prosecution marshal is holding? That is a broken knife. As we clearly concluded, the knife is the drawing... Well, it's not Joe Dark's knife. That the case being, the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Order, order, order. Neil Marshall was awarded the king of prosecution that day. The award was given this knife.
She said he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, why not? Because if the king of prosecution knife was a murder weapon, then the murder and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, the main reason knife would have been Neil Marshall. Oh, easy. He dropped it. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. I'm not here. See, Mr. Wright has been you're too easy to jump to conclusions. Hold it. Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. Do you now? Witness, Mr. Edwards. What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again? His list, the only one that pictures scribbled on the back. I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half the time I drew the picture. Time I've been trying so hard to forget. Must have locked this part away deep inside me. Perhaps it'd be best if we add this to the witness testimony. You please tell us what you recall, Miss Guy. Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix up, and now the badger. This could be interesting. The man raised the knife. I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I was knocked away, the man with the knife. Just there was another flash of light, and that's what I saw, the blue badger. It wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw a shadow. This is certainly most unusual. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't exist 2 years ago? Yes, well. Stop! Please don't pursue this any further. Lana, what's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's court. But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence. The defendants will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. It seems we're finally getting to the core of this matter. Hi guys, welcome back to 1900 part of Wright Ace Attoeney. Last time I played, I don't know what kind of voice I was trying to do there. When I saw this man raise his knife, panic and rush towards him. When you say this man, I'm guessing you're referring to Joe Dark? Yes, at least I think it was him. You think? All I could really see were shadows. The power outage immediately preceded the incident. Trying to make sure my TV's turned on. Alright. It's also documented in the prosecution report. So then you panic and rush towards both of them. Why would you do something so dangerous? What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall. She seemed convinced that Drake was the one holding the knife, but as we theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife. Well, I didn't know that at the time. Then that dark guy knocked me down. All I could think of, gotta help that other person. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. What do you mean by think?
It happened so fast. I was in shock. I don't remember anything clearly, so I did. It's all. Where this guy, Miss Guy, was almost killed before she was witness to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little distortion is only natural. I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew how to stop the man with the knife. What you did was very brave, young girl. So then what happened next? Then there was another flash of lightning, and that's what I saw, the blue badger. Was in a room, but I'm sure I'm still listening. Are you sure about this? Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him. But it was the chief detective who thought of this hideous beast. So it was just the... I don't think she's seen the blue badger. I'm trying to remember. Tell us. Shadow, so you mean you didn't see his face? Or that smile? That's right, but I still remember. He had 3 weird prongs. What pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed because the witness must be mistaken. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw it. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation, so please. Tell us, what's the shadow really mean? What was it? I think I know, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there was indeed something that looked similar to the black badger that is in that room. Mr. Wright! In his room, well, what has the witness seen? What looked like it? You wanna know what looked like it? The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But what's that? I believe it's some sort of jar, but Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands out, it's just a plain jar. However, if we were to change the viewpoint or viewpoints, bruh, I can't do it. Ah! Oh, it's like on a kinda like this. like put the broken piece? Bro, I can't do it. Had enough. Okay. How do I? There we go. Phone right. Freaking. We better call Saul because that might help. Saul might help. Just need a little help. Just need a little help. Been needing a little help this entire episode. Well, this entire, well, technically these last few episodes, I've been needing a little bit of help. Oh. I was like, what am I doing wrong? There we go. Oh, I'm kind of close. I've been getting it kind of close, alright? So you gotta do it like this. What? I literally just looked at that, guys. Bruh, there is no way that can't be it. There is no way. Bruh, these people are stupid. Literally, it's this. You guys can't see it, but wait. You guys can kind of see it. Here, let me turn on my brightness. But it's literally this. So my question is, why is it not working? From the correct angle. Bro! There we go. Holy crap. Well, is this a miracle or what? No one could possibly deny that jars resemble to the blue badger. Jeez, that was annoying. Just trying to make sure I was at least doing it right. No, it can't be. That's impossible! Order. The defense has proven its claim. The mystery of blue badger witness on that day was actually that we enjoyed. What's your point? What do you mean? It's a badger jar thing wasn't actually, I mean, it was just a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edwards. You see, everything changes. Indeed, very well then. Please tell us. Now, at that moment of the jar, at the very specific angle I might add. Well, knowing this, she could have been where? Location of the jar is also on this picture. So she was. The body was found lying near the death. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and if these two facts that revealed what actually transpired, then you see the struggle between
Greg and Marshall did not take place in the sky. It happened on the other side. Chief Grant's office. He planned the murder, moved the victim's body. There. Next. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. There was a reason he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. No logical conclusion, there was a reason. Do you know who it could have been? And we figured it out. So this is why Landon tried to stop him from trial. Too late to quit now. Testimony, she said she was knocked away. The man who leaving the night. The next few instance, the jar hit and flew. Now tell me, what would this jar fly? Yeah? The night! Suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes. Just the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife. Would have to have been Marshall building the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. There's another possibility of that. The possibility? Of course, the perpetrator would have no idea, but nevertheless. What's the matter? The outcome is out in that moment. Assuming the man M.S. Sky knocked away was actually prosecuting Niall Marshall. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No! Thud. So it was the witness who took that victim's life and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
objection. What are you saying? Sorry, Lance guy, but given the circumstances, Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How could you think it was Emma? How dare try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The only reason you moved Marshall's body is to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. I hope you won't believe your insane allegation. I'm afraid that you're going to have. Tell me, any evidence that prove my sister killed Myrtle? Willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly would be able to prove the evidence. Well, I don't have evidence. You have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. You really can't get dead people to testify. It's been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Guy. Of course, the only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edwards? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who killed him. In one manner or another, that's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this only leaves one possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Such a message exists. In the evidence, the message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, at least I have nothing to prove my sister's a murderer. I think now we're just torturing Lana to tell us. Should not be mistaken, this guy. Our purpose is not to accuse him of any crime. There's only one thing to seek: truth. No matter how painful it may be. Well then, right? Show us a piece of evidence. Message. Is that the blue badger from before? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? Is that the thing that... if that thing could, I'm sure it would. Look, everyone. Looks like everyone forgot about the jar. That says was left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? Look closely. Someone wiped the blood away. Who knows, for some reason, the blood of fragment that was not wiped away, the bloodline. What are you saying? These are dots from a line? Marshall did not die instantly. He had a few words and left behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away, but blood must have seeped into a jar with a instruction. Precisely so. All we need to do is make proof. The victim message will become apparent. No. Right? What kind of message did the victim leave us, Your Honor? I believe the name will reveal the answer. Where's name? Sorry, Emma. So all I thinking about is saving Lana. For all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind? But wait, hold on. I want to look at the court record. All people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma's guy. What happened? Seaworthy? Can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gant! Do you understand the implication of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convinced because of his murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, weren't you not? Ach, yes, worthy, because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, you used forged evidence to share his conviction. Joe Dark really was a serial killer? You're under... that's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know or not? I mean, we weren't defenders of justice, what? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no big matter, even if there wasn't any evidence to cover up or the evidence for it. Ultimately, the responsibility falls under the prosecutor in charge. Despite that, anyone may say that the fact cannot be denied. It's mine. Dead. I think it's in there. It wasn't. Order, 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 order! Gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Able to settle the crowd, the judge declared recess. Where the trial is headed, no one knows. That'll be next time on Wright Ace Attoeney. Sorry there wasn't an upload yesterday. I legitimately forgot to record, but next time we're going to have the last 2 videos of this game. Thank you all for watching. See you guys next time.